everybody, it's Bobby of Knitter's Niche. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my Knitter's Niche. I'm up here in my bonus room like I used to always do all my podcasts up here. The reason I'm up here is because I am decking out the downstairs for my next episode that's going to come up, because I have got, let's see, 3 collaborations coming up, and 2 of those collaborations are special discounts just for y'all, okay? For my YouTube subscribers and my YouTube, my YouTube subscribers. So I'm going to talk more about that next podcast, but be ready. It's a good one. 2 good ones. 2 good ones. Okay. Today is November 9th, 2025. Fall is leaving us. So my theme, you know I love a theme. My theme is farewell to fall, y'all. Farewell to fall is drastically coming. The temperatures have dropped here in the northeast corner of Alabama. It is, I think it dropped like 10 degrees since this morning. I think we're going to have maybe a high of 27 during the night, which just doesn't hardly happen here. Not too often. This time of year it will happen more into December or January. It really doesn't get too cold here. So anyway, I'm saying goodbye to fall because winter's coming. Winter is coming. And of course, the holidays, Christmas is coming. Christmas is just around the corner. I'm very excited about that. So we're going to say farewell to fall. And I am wearing my favorite fall knit. This was knit not in 2024. It was knit in 2023. And this is the Tecla sweater by Claudia Quintanilla. It is knit with Knitting for Olive merino, which is a fingering weight yarn, and Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair for the body. And then the sleeves are 2 strands of mohair held together with this lace motif here. There are short rows here on the sleeves, and of course short rows in the back. It is my very favorite. I love it for fall. It has a little bit of I guess you would call it a little bit itchy, but not bad at all. Now, up here in the bonus room, just to let you know, this is a whole different zone than downstairs. So it runs on a different heating and air unit. So you might hear it because I turned it down. I turned it down because I'm wearing mohair today just for my podcast because I love it and I love fall. But you know what? I love Christmas too. So that's what's the next holiday coming up. So we're excited about that. So I've talked about what I'm wearing. Now, I debated. Okay, I've been debating, do I want to do a Christmas one today? Do I want to do a Christmas episode and talk about Christmas sweaters? Well, when you think about Christmas sweaters, you think about more of a whimsical knit. Again, I'm not a big colorwork knitter. However, I love them, and I love other people that they have knit. I love seeing those. But it seems to be the more I was seeing more of the same. There's a few different ones. There's a few different ones, and we might talk about a little bit about that next week. So anyway, I debated between doing this or doing a winter 2025-2026 episode because I have found some beautiful, warm, cozy sweaters. I'm looking at it right here on my iPad. There's a scarf that is pretty cool. Of course, there's sweaters. It's called a neck, but it's like a dickie. They used to call those back in the day. There's another scarf here. Well, it's more of a shawl, actually. As I'm scrolling up, there are 2 more of the kind of like cowl and neck that it almost looks like a sweater, but it stops like this. And one of them, they're both called neck. So anyway, we have got that. We have a cowl. We've got some great sweaters. And you know, there are 2 designers, 2 new to me. My favorite new to me designers. I found 2 of them. And where I found them was on Instagram. I'm scrolling on Instagram and I always look at the latest sweaters that are out there. And this designer caught my eye. And you're going to see why she is so good. And I'm like, why haven't I seen her before? But you know, you kind of come to the realization that there's only so many sweaters I can knit There are things out there I will never see. There are designs out there that it's impossible for me to see in my lifetime. You know, I'm 66, so we're going to have 20 years maybe. That would be wonderful. Okay, 20 years left. But anyway, so let's get going. I'm going to talk about these sweaters. I have them on my iPad here. I will be showing you pictures here. I might throw in some reels from Instagram and talk a little bit about how I found two of these designers. We'll talk about both of them. The first one we're going to talk about here is called Snugged. And this is so cool. It is done, from what I understand, it doesn't really say duplicate stitch, but it doesn't say intarsia either. It says embroidery on here. And what this is a scarf, and it says knit, K-N-I-T. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what she said about this project. This pattern, she talks about what inspired her to do this pattern, to design this pattern. She says it's an absolute statement scarf that says, I knitted it. I like that. I was inspired by the tote bag from Pink Hazel Bags. And who doesn't follow Pink Hazel Bags? You should definitely follow Pink Hazel Bags on Instagram. Her bags are great. I believe she screen prints them herself. You'll see. I'll put a roll in here, put some pictures in here of some of Pink Hazel bags. And if you have one too, you can knit the matching scarf now. To make a snugged, first knit a long tube in stockinette stitch. Then the pockets and pocket openings are worked at both ends. Finally, the knit embroidery is applied. Okay, so that's telling me that that's duplicate stitch. We call that duplicate stitch. And I think I could do that. You know, I took a class years ago. I don't know where we were. I took a little duplicate stitch. It was a quick little class. I think it was at a park somewhere. They had different things that you could choose from that dealt with knitting. And I did take a little class in that. Like I told you, it was in the 90s, so it's been a long time ago. We'll put some pictures here of the snugged scarf. Isn't that awesome? But basically what she's doing is knitting a tube. Here, there's an idea for everybody. Knitting a tube, and then I'm sure it's flattened out like this, and then you come back and do the duplicate stitch. So, of course, the duplicate stitch is charted. And then to go with the snugged, we have the knit sweater. And she's done the same thing. She has, and I want you to take a look at the details that she also has in this. She has, it's embroidered. Okay, so it sounds like it's duplicate stitch also, which that's a good thing. Because intarsia, I don't know. Do y'all do intarsia? Do y'all do intarsia? I don't know. I do need to do that sometime, just to get over it and try it. Is what I need to do. Just get over it and try it. Okay, so I'm looking at this. This is the knit sweater. And again, this sweater says, I knit it. How fun is that? Seamless top down, unisex. There is a video tutorial. That's wonderful. I have not purchased the pattern yet. It is a paid-for pattern, as was the scarf too. It is a paid-for pattern. And I did not tell you the designer. Her name is Chris Berlin. And let me tell you how I found her. I had a wonderful viewer sent me a gift on Ravelry. She sent me a pattern, and it was a pattern by Chris Berlin. This was so sweet. This was back on, and I neglected to talk about it my last podcast, and I apologize, Maya. This is from Maya, and she says, hello, Bobby. I love your videos, and I am working on this lovely scarf right now. I've already knitted one before in Ito. I think it's how you say it, Ito, Sensei, mixed with Ito Canoe. Such a lovely and soft wool mix. The scarf is simple but very elegant and a great fun to make project. I hope you will enjoy it. And thank you so much, Maya. I immediately replied to her and thanked her. So that's so sweet. You know, that's kind of an easy way. If you have a knitting friend and you want to give her a gift, and if they actually have a place where you can have a wish list in Ravelry, you can put your wish list, which I have started a wish list. You can have a wish list and people can look on there and they can purchase a pattern for you and you just get it electronically. There you go. It's all right at your fingertips to give a gift to someone that you may know that loves to knit. So thank you, Maya, for that. Here is the pattern. So I am adding this scarf to this bundle, and this pattern is called Little, is it L-I-L-L-E? Is it Lil? 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 I don't think it's Lily. I think it's Lil, like little. Kolding, K-O-L-D-I-N-G. Again, that's by Chris Berlin. Oh, this is very elegant. I'm going to put some pictures in here of the little Kolding, and you will see how when she drapes it around her, it has the different stitches showing. There's different ways you can wrap it around you and you will see different stitches. It is a little bit bigger scarf, so you can tie it different ways. And you can wear it in different ways, which I appreciate that. I kind of like that mid-size scarf when it comes to like a triangle shape to it, which this does have a slight triangle shape to it, much longer on the ends than it is deep. So thank you so much, Maya, for that. I love it. I want to knit it soon, and I'm adding this to my bundle for the winter 2025-26. Okay, now I've talked about Claudia Quintanilla a little bit. This is the Tecla sweater. If you noticed on Ravelry, and I think today's the last day though, she had offered this pattern free. The Miranda pullover. In the Miranda pullover, I have added to this bundle. The Miranda pullover with the yarn that is used ends up being a DK weight. She holds mohair, and the Isayer yarn Eco Baby. She holds those two yarns together. Now, I have knit a sweater with the Isayer yarn Eco Baby. It is a tube construction, the yarn is. It is so soft, and the structure of the sweater is beautiful. It held its shape very nice. So I am recommending and putting the Miranda pullover from Claudia Quintanilla. And she owns a yarn shop in Toronto, Canada also, Claudia does. I'm adding this to the bundle. You know, I was on Instagram too, and I saw Petite Knit. I follow Petite Knit, which a lot of us do on Instagram. And the Dagmar neck came up, and I thought, son of a gun. You know how I've kind of slipped into this, you know, if I'm going to do cables, if I'm going to do all of this, why not make it a vest instead? Like I did on my last one. I'll put a picture here on the Storm sweater that I turned into a Storm slipover, which was my last podcast. So let's click onto the Dagmar neck. I love this. She has a Dagmar sweater. She has a Dagmar jacket. So now she has the Dagmar neck. And these are perfect for this time of year as you're gradually getting cooler, and even in the winter, because you will have your coat on, you will have the turtleneck, and if you see all these beautiful cables going through it, put some pictures here. Looks like there's some honeycomb stitch there. This was released, let's take a look. This was released October 2025, just this last month, just a few weeks ago. It was released. And let's see how many projects we have here. We have just a few. We don't have a whole lot. But I would knit this, y'all. I would knit this because I would wear it. And where I live, it would be perfect because I could wear that and then I could wear a lighter weight jacket also. It would be perfect for these Southerners to wear. All right, the next one we have up is a shawl. This is the twig shawl. I saw this. This is by Tin Can Knits, and I love Tin Can Knits. They have exceptionally well-written patterns. A lot of us have knit Tin Can Knits when we're new knitters, and it doesn't mean they're simple. It means they just explain the pattern so well. So this is called Twig, again, Twig Shawl. This was released this month. So it was just released November 2025. It is done with DK weight yarn. Put some pictures up for here for you to see. It is charted. It is a child size. Oh, and that's another thing. Generally, they go from child to adult in their patterns. They usually do. I did forget about that. There's a schematic for you. Of course, it's seamless, textured. I really like the edge on this, and what it is, I mean, it's ribbing, but I like it because I think you're going to get a little flounce from that on the edge as you have your shawl around you. This is beautiful. Of course, I love the color she chose. Love it. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is the Windermere, I believe it's how you pronounce it, Windermere cardigan by Cheryl Mokhtari. And I love Cheryl Mokhtari. She's also known as Coco Amore Knitwear. And I have test knit for her, and I test knit the cabana tee, and I used merino and mohair held together. I'll put a picture here, and you probably all remember that. That is one of my very favorite tees. I have two favorites running side by side that I did this year because I used mohair in both of those. Well, no, I have three. I have three favorite. You know, I kind of like a short sleeve, y'all, particularly because of where I live, but also, I don't know. I just like the look of a short sleeve. I'm not very tall. I'm short. And I think in proportion, sometimes these long sleeves are just a bit much for me. Some of them are, not all of them. Okay, let's take a look at the Windermere cardigan by Cheryl Mokhtari. Again, Coco Amore she is known as on, no, I think she's Cheryl Mokhtari on Instagram, I believe. Okay. This is done with a DK weight and a lace held together, which equals worsted. You could use a flat out worsted weight, no problem. We're going to look at the attributes of the sweater. It's adult pattern, has buttonholes, double knit. The button band is double knit. I have never done double knit, but like I said on another podcast, I don't think I'd have any problem with it. Knit in the round, it is oversized. So this is what I look at. This is what I look at in the pattern when it says oversized. Again, I'm short, so I really have to consider how I want this to look on me. So a lot of times I go down a size. It does have positive ease. I consider the positive ease, of course, before I do go down a size. And generally the needle size would go down too, but I don't swatch it. Very rarely do I ever swatch, and I'm just going to say it. And I'm not telling you that you shouldn't. I think that's great that people do, but I don't. I use my project as a swatch as I get far enough and then hope for the best. And I'm looking at the yarn she used is Gepard Garn Puno. And I don't know how to say this other one. Sophisticate Deluxe Lace. But I mean, honestly, I would use just a worsted weight and not necessarily, because I'm guessing this lace that she's using, oh, I don't see a picture of it. It is alpaca, silk, and cashmere goat. Which is going to give you some fluff. So, I mean, you can use Surrey if you don't want to use mohair, or just use a worsted weight yarn that you already have. You know, this would really look nice if you have a tweed worsted weight. Oh, that'd be awesome. Or even a speckled worsted weight. I don't think I have one here for you to see. A speckled worsted weight would be really nice. I don't have a speckled worsted weight. I'm going to have to invest in one. Anyway, this is one of my top ones for winter 2025 through 2026. Here's a new one here, another new one. This is sweater number 33. Again, I was on Instagram and this popped up, and this is by My Favorite Things. And My Favorite Things, I'll put a picture here of the sweater that I did just this last summer. It was called, I'm not sure. I think it's sweater number 1 or sweater number 2, but I'll put it here right next to me here so you can take a look at it. So I do like her patterns, and that's the only pattern I think I've knit from her, I'm pretty sure. And I apologize for any glare, but my lighting has to be a little bit extra because of the time of day. It's 4:30, so I've got to hurry. It's going to be getting dark outside. It gets dark at 5 here. Okay, My Favorite Things knitwear. It is Aran weight, so she's used lace plus worsted to equal Aran weight. I'm guessing, yes, it's Esair yarn, Esair soft, and Esair yarn silk mohair. It is oversized, positive ease, raglan sleeves, seamless top down. I'll tell you what I like about this, and I've seen something similar, but this one is beautiful. If you look up at the collar, the neckband is high. And it is stockinette, and then it has some purl. So you have a kind of a wide, just in a certain area, wide ribbing, really wide here, as you can see in the picture. And then it comes down, becomes your raglan. That's pretty cool. And then it comes down and follows all the way down. And then you have the split on the sides here, a long one. It starts kind of up here and goes all the way down. This is beautiful, and you continue down the bottom for the bottom ribbing is also the same as what's on the cuffs and what's on the neckband and what's on down the side. My favorite thing, sweater number 33, was just released November 2025. So I believe it was just last week it was released. So I have that in my favorites, of course, because it's in this bundle. The next one I found was the Ciro sweater, Ciro sweater by Marika Knit. This was released September of 2025. I saw this on Instagram again, and I thought, who is this? You know, have I seen this designer? What I like most about this, of course, is the sleeves. Not only do you have a split down here at the wide, I mean, her ribbing at the bottom has got to be this deep. She has the same split on the sleeve. So she's got this draping open, as you can see. I think that is amazing. I love it. So let's take a look at the back shoulder here, how she's constructed. That's so nice. That kind of reminds me a little bit of the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit, because that's what I did. Of course, there was all kinds of texture stitches going on with the Storm Sweater that I turned into a slip over. So I'm familiar with that type of construction. It has a folded under a neckband, as you can see. I love the increases there. Whenever you have those increases, it just gives it a design feature just by doing increases there. Very nice. All right, that's the 8th one in our bundle. Here's another neck, the Siri neck. And you know, I think I've been mispronouncing her name for 3 years now. I think it's Lena. I think it's Lena Holmes Samso. I don't think it's Lene, but it's Lynette. And her name is, I think it's Lena Holmes Samso. I love this. Now, again, she has a Siri cardigan. She has a Siri pullover, or maybe it's called Siri sweater. And now she has a Siri neck. This was released, well, actually, this was released a year ago, November of 2024. But this caught my eye because I started looking for cowls and, you know, these are called neck. I think it's called neck. Let's see what she says here. Turtleneck. She calls it turtleneck in the attributes for this pattern. It's knit bottom up. Okay, it's knit bottom up. And the reason I think a lot of times they knit something like this bottom up is because then you can decide how deep to do your turtleneck. The turtleneck portion here. If you want to keep going and do it, make it a fold over, that would be nice too. I would definitely bind off with the Italian sewn bind off. Definitely on this one, because everything is here. Everything is here. Your bind off is here. And when you cast on, do the tubular cast on. Again, it's right here. People look at, your eyes just automatically go to the edges of your projects when someone's looking at it, and when you're looking at someone else's, what they have made. So do those finishes. You won't regret it. You truly will not regret it. I consider this to be avant-garde. And avant-garde means something a little bit out there, but boy, is it eye-catching. It is knit by Aegyo Knit. Her name is Caroline, and it is knit with Aran weight yarn. And let's see here, US 7 needle, 4.5 millimeter. Okay, there's one size. It is knit in 4 different languages. This is one of the coolest looking ones I have ever seen. It almost begs for the whole outfit to be a little more loose and a little more drapey that you're wearing, or a coat. Again, it's all up around here. It's even up here. She has it this high on her, but it's a big flounced, almost like a flouncy cowl here. And then you have your arms here, and it comes down. It's just great. And I love the detail of the decreases. And I think it's decreases depending off your, does it say? Oh, it is top down. So that is decreases that you're seeing that causes this design right through here. I like this a lot. The Gujo collar is called the Gujo, Gujo collar. That's sharp. That is really, really sharp. I'm seeing a lot of turtlenecks. I'm seeing a lot of exaggerated, high, fullness around your face here for the winter, keeping your neck warm, and the back of your neck especially, along, of course, with your upper shoulders. This is by Other Loops, the Tulip Loop Roll Neck. It is knit with DK weight yarn and lace. This was released October of 2024, but I just love this. The back is to die for. Absolutely. How do you do this? This is beautiful. I would knit it because of the back. Look at that. Amazing. Just amazing. Of course, the front is good too. The front is almost, the back is unpredictable. I would never have thought. And look here, if you can see, I have it here. I'll put a picture. You can see like on the underarm here, what? I don't know if it's a moss stitch or it's beautiful. And she's got a, oh my gosh. Okay, look at this one. She has an example of it in a dark brown. It's almost a burgundy brown, like a Bordeaux wine, almost a, the two comes together like a deep, deep chocolate brown with a burgundy together. You know, you could do that. You could do a marl. You could take, okay, here's what I think would be great. Let me go back to what the yarn here. Okay, lace and Aran. Okay, you could have your Aran, or excuse me, DK and lace equal Aran, excuse me, I'm sorry. You could take the DK and have that be your deep brown and then come in with your mohair. Woohoo! Because she's suggesting knitting for olive, heavy merino, and knitting for olive, soft silk mohair. I would come back with a mohair and have that be your burgundy. They have a Bordeaux. They do have a Bordeaux. Excellent. Love it. All right. And here's a sweater, and this is called, this came up on Instagram too. Now, this was released in September of 2023. It's called the Fall Loop Sweater. It's by Other Loops. It's something different that I generally see a lot of cabling in her patterns, but this is an Other Loop sweater. It is a textured sweater. It is knit with fingering weight yarn, light fingering, plus lace equals DK. I love it. She's suggesting Esayer yarn silk mohair and Esayer yarn tweed. This is a beautiful, I mean, it's not, it's just textured, but those two yarns together, they almost give it a marled look, like they're two different colors. They're in the same hue, basically. The tone is basically the same, but they're two different colors coming together. And that makes for a beautiful marled look. Again, this is a great sweater. It's going to take you into winter and even into, you know, the late fall, winter, and even into the cold, cold winter months of January and February. All right. Now, I have saved, this is my second new to me favorite designer that I have found. And again, I'm a broken record, y'all. Instagram. I saw this on Instagram, and this is not the sweater that drew me to her. It's another sweater. It was actually a vest, because you know I'm really into doing that now. It's less expensive, excuse me, and it takes less time. It looks good because I'm not very big and I'm not very tall. I'm short, and it just kind of goes with the type of clothing that I wear too. I wear a little bit more tailored slacks and so on. Okay, so this sweater came up. Another sweater came up, excuse me. So I click onto it, and then this opens up, y'all. I said to I probably said it out loud. Who is Knitonomy? Who is that? Well, her name is Magdalena Parker. Okay. Magdalena Parker, click on this. I'm going to show you right now why I think this designer deserves a lot of attention, a lot of attention. And I do ask you all, if you would, go to Instagram, follow her on Instagram, give her a like. I mean, she is phenomenal. Okay, here's the name of the sweater. I'll just be quiet now. I'll keep moving because I'm just going to keep talking about her. Okay, here we go. This is called the Pearl Sweater. And the Pearl Sweater, the reason it's called Pearl, from what I can see, is a cable sweater. Yes, it is. And is it cabled on down the sleeve? Yes, it is. But look at this. You know, again, I'm going to keep saying it. I turned the storm sweater into a storm slip over. So then I look at this, and she tells you how she turned her sweater into a slip over. So another thing that draws me to a designer too is when I go into the projects and I look at what the people that have bought this pattern and knit it, I want to see how it fits on them. And every one that's in here looks amazing. Not everyone has a picture of them wearing it, but the ones that do fits them beautifully. Now, there's none that's the slip over. There's none that's a slip over, but man, this is nice. I'm going to knit it. I have some leftover Drops Daisy that I knit the Storm slip over with. I'm going to use the rest of that. I need to get some mohair that matches that, or maybe even do a white with that to lighten it up. A really, really light gray mohair. That would be beautiful. That's what I'm going to do. That's on my 2026 calendar. So she is a new to me designer, and I'm going to have 2 bundles for you today. Well, maybe more. One of them is going to be winter 2025 through 2026. There's that bundle, which we've talked about here. I'm going to have another bundle, and the other bundle is new to me designers. And so we're going to have Chris Berlin. That is the designer that had the knit scarf and the knit sweater, and also had the little colding scarf that Maya gifted to me in Ravelry. So I'm going to have those 2 designers going to be in there. And there's some past ones that I put in there. And I just think it's something that's kind of fun to do, so y'all can take a look at what I consider they're not brand new designers, obviously, but they're my favorite new to me designers that I found in 2025. Okay, so let's move along here. We're going to talk about Claudia Quintanilla again. Claudia had contacted me and asked if I would like to join the Betty Christmas KAL knit along, KAL. And she is gifting me the yarn. So it is on its way. So I did sign up for it. So all of you that are participating in the Betty Christmas knit along, I'm going to be doing that with you. I have signed up. I've introduced myself on there. I'm so excited to be knitting with you and getting to talk with all of you and just get inspiration from each other. So that begins, I'll put the information here. The cast on begins November 20th, 2025, this month. We cast on that day. Here, I had to write it all down. The Betty Knit Along Christmas KAL. Cast on date is 11/20 this month, where you need to go to Ravelry and join the KAL. And you also want to go to YouTube. There's a link. There will be a link, and I'll also put it down below, to Claudia Quintanilla's YouTube channel, because here's what you get by watching that. There will be a step-by-step videos by Claudia pertaining to the Betty sweater. There'll also be weekly email updates, tips, and giveaways. Don't miss out, because there's contests, discounts, and surprises along the way. There's tutorials to guide you all the way through knitting the Betty Christmas knit along. Best of all, you will have a beautiful handmade sweater to wear this Christmas. That's what your end result's going to be. You're going to have a beautiful Christmas sweater. How to join, the link is in my description down below. So let's do that. How much fun is this going to be? So much fun. So we have the Betty sweater for Christmas to knit, and also I am big on Claudia Quintanilla patterns, and the reason that I am is because they're more tailored. They're very well fitted. I've talked about this in a podcast a long time ago. The best fit that you can get in a garment is at your shoulders here, right at your shoulders. And if you look at me, you can see this is a perfect spot that it hits me. This is all hand knit by me. I did it to pattern. I didn't change a thing. She is known for that, known for the good fit of her sweaters. So I'm also going to be knitting the Miel. It might be Miel. I think it's Miel, M-I-E-L. That's also by Claudia Quintanilla. It is a beautiful sweater. I'll put a picture here for you to see. I'm going to be knitting it with a fingering weight yarn plus mohair. So anyway, fingering weight yarn and mohair. I love the sleeves. I love the drape. I just love the silhouette of her sweaters. She just, like, again, she has such a good eye for fit. So there'll be 2 sweaters that I'm knitting. She's also sending me the yarn for the BL. It's on its way, and Claudia and I are keeping our fingers crossed. She's like, oh my gosh, Bobby, I don't know if this is going to get to you by the time we cast on. So we're, with shipping and everything, and it is coming from Canada. So I know there's been some tariff issues. I don't know how that stands right now and how quick things are coming across the border as far and how mail is coming over here. I'm not sure. I love Canada. I've always loved Canada. We vacationed there when I was quite young. And my mom used to give us girls, I'm the youngest of 4 girls, and mom and dad would get us a charm everywhere we went on vacation. And I have the maple leaf. You know what? How about next podcast I show that to you? So anyway, we're waiting on that. I'm so excited to get that started. And what else has been going on? Because there's been a lot going on. I have an acquisition that I made. Well, hang on. Let's do this. I'm going to back up here just a second. I apologize. I do this all the time. Y'all know. I am doing a test knit only because I love her so much. JST Knitwear Designs. I am doing a test knit for her, and it is called the High Line. I'm going to make sure I'm saying this correctly because I don't want to misspeak in any way and get someone looking for a pattern that's not even the right name. It is the High Line shawl. I'm doing the small shawl. This pattern comes with 3 different sizes. You will get a scarf that's long, and it's just the same width as when you get to a certain point, and then it'll come down. And then you could do the small shawl, or you could do the larger shawl. I'm doing the small shawl. And one thing that attracted me and really pulled me into doing this test knit, even though I'm really busy, even though I've got a lot going on, is because of this yarn. I saw on Instagram, I believe her name is Jill. I believe her name is Jill. And this is North Bay Fiber. And this is her new blend. And this new blend is called Bay Blend DK. And I saw that that's what Jennifer had used, and we were getting a discount from the yarn if we chose to do that with the test knit. And it's right here. And it takes 1 skein, and I'm going to tell you how many yards are in this. Again, it's a DK weight yarn, non-superwash, 2-ply woolen spun. Okay, there's 150 yards, which is 137 meters. It is considered a 50 gram, and it comes in a skein, a twisted skein. I caked it up. I had to think of the name of it. Sorry. I caked it up. And it came yesterday. I ordered it October 26th, and it got here yesterday. So I was like, yeah, this is due. Yeah, the deadline is the 13th, not the 15th. But I'm moving right along with it. I'll show you. I can show you a little bit of it. I cannot show you the end result. Well, I don't have the end result yet anyway. So let me tell you a little bit about this yarn. This is, and I don't know a lot about yarn. I apologize. 85% Tagi polypie wool and 15% Huacaia alpaca. And it also says American wool exclusively spun for North Bay Fiber. And the color is called Champagne Shore. And here it is. Here's the beginning of the shawl. It is the smaller one I'm knitting. And I can't say too much about it right now, but this yarn, if you want to look, you can see it's a little rough and ready. It's a woolen spun, and but it's going to have bounce, and I cannot wait to block this. This is going to really be nice. If you look at it, I don't know if you all can see it. It's kind of tonal, which I like that. It's not giving me stripes by any means. It's giving me just color variation, just blended through it. Okay, so that's an acquisition I made, was the yarn. to do the test knit because I love Jennifer. I do anything for Jennifer. If Jennifer said, Bobby, I need something done tomorrow, I would do my best to do it. She wouldn't because she's very gracious. I love her. We've never met. Maybe someday. All right. The other acquisition I made, I watched the Fruitful Hands, and I just love those two, the mother and daughter YouTube knitting channel. I love them so much. And I was watching them one time within this past year, and they mentioned a knitting project book that they use, and they loved it, just loved it. So I paid attention. I thought, I'm going to try and find that. Well, they'd sold out, at that point of the year. It's already gone for this year. So I thought, well, next year, I'll do it next year. And so I've been keeping an eye out, and I follow her. It is Sunny Day Crochet. And this book is easily can be used by knitters or crocheters. It doesn't say sway one way or the other. She is very creative. She's put into this project book that I have never seen anything like this before. And here it is. It is called My Year in Yarn 2026, Sunny Day Crochet. A bullet journal and project log for knitters and crocheters. I do crochet a little bit, so that's good. So she has all kinds of little things in here. This is January 2026. It's got monthly goals, all kinds of little things here. Place to put notes, habit tracker, to-do list. This is great. And also, it has this bookmark you could use. I just happen to put it here. It is a little elastic bookmark there. So if you want to, and if you would, go on to Sunny Day Crochet, and like I say, give them a like, follow them. All these small business that we have out here, be it, and also the North Bay Fiber Company, follow them on Instagram. They do so much and work so hard. They're small business. They're small companies, and they are family companies, and they deserve a lot of credit for everything that they do, because they bring us very unique things that you will not find out there on the market. You will not find yarn like this out in the market, American yarn that she has dyed herself. So give them a like. Please do that. That would be wonderful. They would appreciate it so much. Make a purchase. That would be even better if you can. Okay, what else are we going to talk about today? This year, these past few weeks have been such a whirlwind for me. Just on a personal note too, I think I said this a long time ago. I've had my podcast 3 years. I said it sorry about the glare. I said a long time ago on my glasses, it's just going to happen. I have a hearing deficit. I'm just getting older, and that just happens sometimes. So it got to the point where when people were talking to me, and if I really wasn't seeing them, and I didn't realize this till later, I really didn't see their face when they were talking to me, like if they were beside me talking to me, like we were walking along beside each other, sitting next to each other. I didn't see their lips. I think a lot of us read lips and just don't realize that we do, and some more than others. Because when you could see someone talking, you automatically know what they're saying because you can kind of see their lips. Anyway, so I have hearing aids. And I'm trying them out. I got them just this last Monday. And then I'm going to go tomorrow. I will go weekly for a month. And she says, go out into the world and do everything you do, and then kind of pay attention and let me know how things went as far as the sound. But I have them in. You can't even see them. Of course, I've got long hair. It's tucked behind my ear with a very fine wire right here. But they're rechargeable, which is great, because I can remember my mother-in-law when she started wearing hearing aids. She had those little tiny little batteries, but now they're rechargeable. I haven't done it yet because she wants me to make sure that this is the brand of hearing aids that work for me, but I'll be able to use them Bluetooth. I'll be able to just click and then be able to watch something on my iPad or listen to something on my iPad or my phone or with no problem, or talk to somebody on my phone through them too. So I don't really know if I'm talking very loud because everything is kind of amplified because I'm not quite used to it. You hear even the rustling, if I were to have a jacket on, if it rustled, it's a lot louder. And even me talking is kind of reverberates more kind of in my head, kind of. But it's helpful. It is very helpful. But it's so high tech now. It's so high tech. So I am hopeful that this is the avenue that I needed to take. It's something that I needed to do. So if any of you have any tips on, I don't know if there would be tips on hearing aids. I don't know. It was a hard pill for me to swallow, and I really don't know why. Because once she put them in, well, I put them in. She handed them to me, and I put them right in. She's like, "Oh, you did that yourself?" I use, wireless headphones all the time that go in my ear. I mean, I use them all the time, earbuds. I don't have the iPod. I don't have those, but I have wireless that I use. And so I'm just kind of used to doing that, I guess. And it was no big deal. And it really isn't a big deal. You know what the big deal is? I keep forgetting to put them in because I'm not used to putting them in. It's not a habit for me. So anyway, if anybody's got any stories to tell me about hearing aids and how they changed their life and how they made things better. And I will say, when you have hearing loss and it just becomes kind of your new normal and you don't really realize it, and what was happening with me was I wouldn't hear the beginning of the sentence or the end of it. If someone was not looking straight at me, talking to me, I would hear the middle. And of course, my husband, his name's Butch, I had no idea what he was saying half the time, unless I kind of had a clue of what he was doing, if he was in the other room and said something to me. So it helped me a lot to understand. It also helps you to understand better, just in anything you're learning or anything you're doing, or if I'm knitting, or if without that sense of hearing at its best, it's harder for your brain to everything to come together. And so I'm hoping that helps too. And one thing, I play pickleball. I've talked about it before. We play, oh goodness, now not near as much as we used to. We used to play 6 days a week. And we don't play as much because we're busy. We have other things going on too. So I did play 2 different days this week, play for a few hours each day. And I forgot to put them in both times. So anyway, thank you so much. I think this is everything I wanted to talk about today. All the information that I've talked about, the yarn, the patterns, any purchases I have made, the Sunny Day Crochet, and also the North Bay Fiber Company. I will put that information, links to their business down below, so you can take a look. Go to Instagram. Hey everybody, I'm back because I did not tell you what I'm working on, what my latest whip is. My latest working project is right behind me here. And this is the Cambersands Sweater. And this Cambersands Sweater is designed by, the designer is Cheryl Mokhtari of Coco Amore Knits. This is beautiful. I've started a few different things in the past few weeks, and you guys are probably thinking, Bobby, where are you at? Well, I finally landed on this one. This is gorgeous. I'll put a picture. Well, let me put it over here. I'll put a picture over here so you can see what the pattern looks like finished. This obviously is not completed yet. It is a long sleeve sweater that has the same detail all down, and it's all the way around. It's on the back too. And it's hard to see, but if I pull on this, see, you can see the cables. And once it's been wet blocked, this is going to be amazing amazing. I have knit this with this yarn here. This is Knitting for Olive Merino. It's a fingering weight yarn, and this is marzipan. This is marzipan. And then this is the yarn, the mohair that I'm using, and it is also marzipan, and it's called Soft Silk Mohair, Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair. These two yarns held together. It calls for a number 8, US 8 needle, and I'm using a 7, and I am knitting the second size. There is quite a bit of positive ease in this pattern, as you can see. I'll put a picture somewhere here, as you can see. So again, I have to understand that I need this good fit here to just get this nice drape on me, because you're going to get tired of hearing me say it, but I'm short, and I really have to consider how these designs that they have out now that have so much positive ease, it would just swallow me up. It would not look right. So I've decided to go down to a size 7 needle instead of an 8. I did the tubular cast on, and it calls for the setup rows. You can see it there. And it just rolls over to the other side. Very nice look to it. You know what I found, and maybe you have too, when you do a tubular cast on, I think the bind off looks nicer, which makes, I don't know why. I don't know why, but it does. It looks much better. I think the bind off looks better than the cast on, but isn't that beautiful? I love this. I love this. Looking forward to it. Now, let's talk about this. You know, because y'all going to tired hearing it. Because I modified my storm sweater, now my brain tells me I need to modify this and make it a slip over. The Cambersands slip over, and I might do it. I might do it. What I'll do is I will see what the pickup count is here for the sleeves. When you pick up and knit for the sleeves here, I will go ahead and pick them up and see what that number is, and see if that's going to work for me. Yeah, I do want to do that, and I think I'm going to. I think what I'll do is probably keep to the depth here and have it here, and then I'm not going to even knit this as long as it says to in the pattern. I'm not going to do that. So right now, of course, I don't have it on, and it makes a difference when you put it on because it pulls it up. Now this is how long this is. Let's see here. Oh, I got a little ways to go. Isn't this cute? I have this on, again, I like to wear around the house anyway. I love to wear Barefoot Dreams, and this is a wide leg pant here. I've worn it before in some different pictures that I've done with my different sweaters, but that would look really sharp with this too. Whoa, okay, I know what I'm going to wear it with. I know what I'm going to wear it with, but I just love this. I love all Cheryl Mokhtari's patterns. She does a great job. So here's what I'm working on. And it's funny. I turn my camera on. I can see myself because I have my phone facing me. And I thought, I saw this yarn sitting right here. It was right here. And I'm like, oh, and of course I saw this and I thought, oh, holy cow. I didn't even talk about what I've been working on, what I've been spending my time working on knitting. And I didn't even talk about it. So that is my WIP, my work in progress. Oh, and something else that I was wanting to tell you about is I will be attending the Alabama Fiber Festival. And the Fiber Festival runs from Friday, November 14th through Saturday, November 15th, 2025, just like a week or so. And it is in Birmingham, Alabama. All right. So I'm going to be attending this Fiber Festival. And if you see me, y'all, please stop and say hi. I would love to meet you, love to talk with you. I'd love to see these faces that I know that have supported me in the past 3 years watching my little knitting channel, and it is a little knitting channel. And I am going with Susie of Yarn Over With Us. Susie and Linda do the podcast together. Now, Linda can't come. She doesn't live in that close to us, so she won't be able to attend. So if you see Susie and I, please say hello. Please say hello. I've never been to a yarn festival before, so this is something new for me. I am looking for project bags. I am looking for maybe to get some unique skeins of yarn, probably fingering weight, hand-dyed yarn. I'm looking for that. I'm so excited to go because this is an opportunity for me to meet some of you and to meet some of these yarn dyers that I have been seeing on Instagram. I would love to see the yarn, love to handle the yarn that they have dyed and have curated on their own to participate in this small business festival. Basically is what it is. It's for small business, and I am all for that, helping promoting them, and doing what I can and making some purchases along the way. So there's going to be workshops there, the events. I'm going to put a link down below. I will put a link to the Alabama Fiber Festival, November. And that is actually, what is today? What did I say today was? The 9th? Wow, that is. That's this coming Saturday. So this coming Saturday, today is Sunday. Today's Sunday the 9th. I will see you at Alabama Fiber Festival. I'll be with Susie and her friend Teresa. I haven't met Teresa, but I will be with her. And please say hi. I'll see you in Birmingham, November 15th, next Saturday, this coming Saturday. So thank you all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.